and thank you for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering the NFL Draft, last night NBA playoff games, and make sure that you guys stick around for later in the show. We will be diving into our Florida Man stories for the week. Before we start, I wanted to ask that you guys like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from the viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets right on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is gsmcpodcast.net. This just puts your question at the top of the list so I can see it, and it also really helps the show.
Hello, Miss.
Hello. Hello, Jay. I sound so pathetic. I'm so sorry.
You're playing a little injured, but you got this, no
Yeah.
problem. So Faith has a little bit of a cold today. I don't know what is it allergies or is it a cold?
Okay, so I thought it was allergies. So I was telling Tate on Wednesday, my boyfriend and I were cleaning out his back patio because I'm moving in a couple months, so we're trying to get his place ready for me to move into. And the patio was an absolute disaster, so we had to do
Well,
that. And so I definitely spent like 2 or 3 hours outside cleaning the patio because I'm a clean freak. So I was scrubbing the door frames and everything like that. And I thought it was just like the pollen getting to me. But I've noticed since Wednesday it's been getting progressively worse. And I have had strep throat before, and I feel like this is coming to be strep throat. So fun
I hope
times.
cross fingers that it's not strep throat, but
Yeah.
it is a big news. You letting us in on a little crack in the door in the life of Faith. Faith is moving in, making it move in official.
Move in official, yes. I mean, I basically already live here though.
But no. There's a difference between,
Yeah.
hey, I'm hanging out here every day, than
No,
this is my residence.
I still have my apartment right now, but in July I'll be moving in officially. So we're trying to get everything cleaned up and nice for Faith to get moved into.
That's awesome.
So
Congratulations.
thank you.
For a few of our viewers, I think they're all sad to get this news.
I do
But
want to apologize to our viewers today and our listeners. I apologize for how I sound and how I look because I don't look that great either. So apologies for that.
no, you're doing good. And then there's me. I'm in a sweater today.
Yeah.
It was what, 80 degrees, yeah, I think yesterday, and today it's gonna be it's in the 60s. So
And you're wearing a
yeah.
sweater? I wear short sleeve when it's 60. That's
That's because you live in the frozen tundras of Georgia. That sounds so funny.
We do not live in the frozen tundras. We live in the scalding hot,
I know.
burning
I'm just
fires.
I am just a wimp when it comes to cold weather.
Mm,
So, yes,
yeah.
I'm throwing on a sweater today. I'm the only one. There's people walking around here in bikinis and I'm in a sweater.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with me. Ooh, Miss Faith, you know what? People don't realize sometimes it's great doing the show,
Hmm.
but on days like today, it can be tough.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is you're doing a sports show,
Hmm.
but there's three NBA games that you have to watch.
Yeah.
That's like 3 hours each.
Hmm.
There's an an NFL draft that you have to prepare for, and that's hours upon hours there.
Hmm.
And you're like, whoa, there's not enough time for everything.
No. There's I've always said that like 24 hours is not enough time in a day.
I know. See,
I need
that's
more
why
hours.
I am pro this whole, and I know we're eating up extra time so today, but the whole proposal of the work week being into 4 days a week
Hmm.
in the US, I think that's a good move.
I
Have
do too.
everybody, instead of 8 hour days, everyone work 10-hour days.
Hmm.
four tens, but everyone gets that, when you leave on Thursday, you got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off.
Mm,
That would be awesome.
yeah.
More hours to do more things in. I already work 16 hours a day anyway. But I'm just saying, just in general, just overall uh efficient. You get more work done
Mm,
when you're working because you can get those hours in, but you still get that 3-day weekend, which
yeah.
everyone should be living for.
Yes.
I'm a pro with that one. So, all right. So let's dive in here and let's talk
Yeah.
about some NFL draft. What's going on?
Okay, so the part of the NFL draft happened last night. So the Chicago Bears selected quarterback Caleb Williams of USC with the first pick in the 2024 NFL draft to start a run of 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks. The first round wrapped up on Thursday night, which was last night, with a record 23 offensive players drafted among the 32 picks. Rounds 2 and 3 are on Friday, with rounds 4 and 7 on Saturday. So basically, what I thought we would do is we would just kind of go down the list of round 1, and we can talk about who drafted who and how we think that's gonna work out for this season. If that's good with you.
I would even make it easier because there's way too many
Yeah, I
players.
know.
We don't have every one of them. And I don't, and I'm gonna be honest with you. When you ask me about an offensive lineman from, I don't know, Billy Bob University High, I'm not gonna know. I'm gonna be like, who the heck is that?
No, we
So
won't have enough time to go down the entire line because there were
I was gonna
32.
touch on some of the bigger name guys
Yeah.
in the draft and just kind of go down
Okay.
real quick. I think that's the better one because I've watched I watch a lot of college football. I'm the weird guy to watch the coaches film, which allows me to watch the game a lot faster. So I watch
Mm-hmm.
all the major games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go down and just kind of give my thoughts on a few of these, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. Um. So
So
number one pick was, I'm sure we'll definitely be talking about this, Caleb Williams. So Caleb Williams was the first round pick. He was a quarterback from USC, and he was drafted by the Chicago Bears.
Now, Caleb Williams, that was an easy no-brainer. The
Mm-hmm.
only problem that was like this was the worst kept secret there is.
Yeah.
Everyone knew Caleb Williams was going to go to the Chicago Bears. The only question at one point in time with Caleb Williams was would him and his family want to go to Chicago? Would he
Mm-hmm.
put up a stink and say, "Hey, I don't want to go to Chicago because Chicago does not have a history of drafting great quarterbacks." Matter of fact, they've never really had a great quarterback
Mm-hmm.
ever. They've had some decent quarterbacks, but nothing, no like blockbuster Hall of Fame quarterback in the modern era.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the thing with Caleb Williams is a lot of people compare him to Patrick Mahomes as far as leading an offense. He was top 5 in passing. I mean, he has all the tools. Some of the concerns with him is some people say he plays a little too much. He can play a little hero ball, meaning he's so talented that sometimes he will try to extend the play instead of saying, you know what, we need to get rid of this. He's going to try to make things happen. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem that a lot of quarterbacks have coming in. They're so used to using their athleticism and their skills to be so much better than everyone else that they can what they call hero ball and make things happen. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's incredibly accurate on the move. Concerned about his height as far as in the NFL, but Kyler Murray showing his success. He's not Kyler Murray short, but shorter quarterbacks have been able to show that they can perform. The Russell Wilsons, the Kyler Murrays of the world. So he's a great he's I mean that's a no brainer pick. Let's move on to the Washington Commanders at number two.
Yes, so the Washington Commanders had the second pick, and they drafted Jaden Daniels, who was a quarterback from LSU.
Now, I was a little surprised on this one. I had it flipped. I thought that they were going to go with Drake May.
Mm.
Uh, I had Daniels a little bit lower on my pick.
Mm-hmm.
My board, I had Caleb Williams as my number one quarterback. I had
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels as my number five quarterback.
Mm.
Um, Again, another dual threat quarterback, an elite runner, big arm. Can does incredibly well with the deep threat. He's going to be that dynamic guy that if you're a fantasy football guy, Jaden Daniels is your man because he's
Mm.
going to get you offensive yards rushing. He's going to throw big plays offensively. He's a just the deep threat. He throws an incredible deep ball. Um, but the fact that he's so confident with his legs, he can get sacked a lot.
Mm.
And the NFL, the players are that much faster, the schemes are that much more complex. That's where I see him having troubles is adjusting from being more athletic than everyone else and now coming into the NFL, holding on to that ball a little too long could cause some major, major problems for him. Smart, I like the pick. I don't know if I would have taken him at number two. Like I said, I had him at number five. I thought Drake May would have been a better pick for them, but you know, it's that's the command. The Commanders made their pick. Let's move on to number three, the New England Patriots.
Yeah, so the New England Patriots had the third pick, and they drafted Drake May, who is a quarterback from North Carolina.
Okay, Drake May. I had him as my number three quarterback. Um, I have to adjust to talking about New England. When I think of New England, I'm like, this is not a place that you want to send a young quarterback to. Thinking about Mac Jones, but this is not the same New England. This is not the Bill Belichick New England Patriots. This is a brand
Mm.
new organization, so I don't quite know how that's going to affect them. I feel like right now they have Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback. Drake May is only 21 years old. Wouldn't that be nice? 21 years old and you got tens of millions of dollars coming to
Heck
you.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Um, Many people, there's a number of people thought he was the best quarterback in this draft.
Mm.
Um, Proficient throwing the deep ball, uh, especially on throws 20 yards or more. He statistically he threw for 4,321 yards last year with 38 touchdowns. Uh, Things you can do if you put pressure on him, you can shake him up. Uh, that's the key. Can he handle NFL pressure? Under pressure, that's when his accuracy, he starts having issues with his accuracy. Uh, I do like the pick if they don't rush him to be the starter. If
Mm.
you say this year, Jacoby Brissett is our starting quarterback, and then we're going to roll into Drake May next year, I love that fact. I don't think that's what will happen. I could easily see them three or four or five games and then going over and turn it over to Drake May. That's what a lot of teams end up doing. And a lot of times I think it's a big mistake.
Mm.
So we're gonna go to number four. We're rapid fire here. This
Okay. So number four, Arizona Cardinals had the pick with Harrison Jr., who is a wide receiver from Ohio State.
okay. Marvin Harrison Jr. Pretty much a consensus pick is he's the best wide receiver in the nation
Mm-hmm.
coming out of college football. I don't know if I would say he's. I don't know. I think. Neighbors is a more dynamic, bigger playmaker, but pound for pound, best wide receiver in the game is Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State. Ohio State, incredibly talented. I was looking at the grade they gave. Yahoo Sports gave it an A+ pick. I'm gonna give it. I agree with them. That's an A+ pick there. If you're not gonna go with, if you're not gonna go and say we're gonna move forward with a new quarterback, and we're gonna stay with Kyler Murray, then I think you need to get him a weapon. Is it something that you want to say, Miss Faith?
Sorry, I forgot that Brock Bowers was going into the draft this year, and I saw his name. I just glanced over at this list, and I saw his name on the list. That's so sad. I'm so upset. I'm like, okay, you got something to contribute here. What's going on? I love Brock Bowers. I forgot he's
you
leaving.
should. You should have loved him. That's a big loss for Georgia. I think we'll be talking about him a little bit. Let's go to number 5 and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay, so yes, the Los Angeles Chargers had the number 5 pick, and they drafted Joe Alt, who is from Notre Dame. Yeah.
Okay. I picked this one to cover because this is a Jim Harbaugh pick. Mm-hmm. It totally made sense to me. Mm. Chargers needed wide receivers. And a lot of people thought Malik Napier was going to be out of LSU, the no-brainer pick for the Chargers. Mm-hmm. But that's for people that do not understand Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh wants to, one, establish the run, protect Justin Herbert. And so the only thing about Joe Alt is a left tackle. They already have an all-pro left tackle, which to me means they're going to be moving Alt to the right tackle position. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking, that they're prepared to, or if they're going to move Slayer, who is their all-pro left tackle, are they going to move him right? But one of these two guys are going to have to play right tackle, and so that's going to be interesting. There's still room to get a wide receiver later on in the draft, or maybe make a move to pick up some wide receivers. When you look at Justin Herbert and you're saying you have your quarterback for the next decade, making sure you have your right and left tackles taken care of for the next decade as well is incredibly smart. Mm-hmm. Jim Harbaugh wants to run the ball. Mm-hmm. It adds depth to that left tackle position as well. If Slayer goes down, you can move Alt back to the left tackle. I think it's a really good move. Mm-hmm. Now, I know we're only on the 6th pick, and yes. I'm not going to try to make you you're the traffic cop on the show. But I was going to suggest going to break now, yes, and then coming back and hitting this a little, mm-hmm, finishing up, because we're right at pick number 6, and there's a lot of picks left.
That's good with me. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be discussing more about the NFL draft, so make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on their fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alrighty guys, welcome back. Earlier we were covering the NFL draft, and now we're going to be continuing talking about the NFL draft. But before we do that, I just wanted to remind you guys to like and follow the show. We get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. That link is gsmcpodcast.net. This just puts your question at the top of the list so I can see it, and it also really helps the show. All right.
Okay, so we were covering the draft. We had covered picks 1 through 6, 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to number 6, and then we're going to go to number 8. So we'll go to number 6 next.
So the New York Giants had the 6th pick, and they drafted Malik Nabers, who is a wide receiver from LSU.
Okay, Malik Nabers. Some people think he may be the best draft. I still have Marvin Harrison Jr. as the best wide receiver in this draft. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand what the Giants are doing. The Giants desperately need a quarterback. Daniel Jones, coming off of a horrible year, only having one decent year since they've drafted him, but they still keep doubling down on him. And it makes no sense, especially when you had a number of nice quarterbacks still here. You had J.J. McCarthy, you had Michael Penix Jr. there. There were other, Bo Nix was available. How do you not go quarterback here? Absolutely made no sense to me. The Giants organization always makes me scratch my head. I didn't like this pick at all. Yahoo Sports gave it a B plus. The player is an A+ player. The decision is a C- decision, in my opinion.
Maybe they got something up their sleeve. I don't know.
No, they just keep it. They just gave Daniel Jones a big contract last year. Mm-hmm. He still has not performed very well. I don't understand, why are they sticking with him? That's a big question of them all. Mm-hmm. All right, the pick number, we're going to skip to number 8.
Okay, mm-hmm. So the Atlanta Falcons had the number 8 pick, and they drafted Michael Penix Jr., who is a quarterback from Washington.
Okay, this is the one that shocked a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people were shocked by this one. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, show you how shocked, Yahoo gave it a flat out F as a grade. Like, it was a complete failure. And I disagree with them 100%. I think the Atlanta Falcons is loaded everywhere. They just went out and signed Kirk Cousins. Mm-hmm. By going to get Michael Penix Jr., who I think is an incredibly great quarterback, they have their presence taken care of with Kirk Cousins for 2 years. You got a 2-year contract. So, Michael Penix Jr. does not have to start right away. And then you move Michael Penix Jr. in right after the Kirk Cousins years. Mm. I know a lot of people are not happy with Michael Penix Jr. because he's a 6-year college starter. Mm. But this guy has a lot of experience. He's incredibly poised. Every game you put him in, I watched them in those Oregon games, and I thought Oregon was clearly the better team. Both games I thought Oregon was the better team. But I thought the better quarterback was Michael Penix Jr. He handles pressure incredibly well, incredibly athletic, big arm. The biggest problem, his 2 biggest things that people complain about is he's a 6-year starter, so they look at him as old. He's not old. He's still mid-20s. And then he's had some injury concerns. as a young player. He has had a number of injury concerns, and they're worried about his durability and availability. That comes with as the body matures and age. I think some players that have injury issues when they're younger tend to grow out of that as the body gets older and strengthens. So I thought I thought it was a good decision. Let's move to pick number 9.
Alrighty, pick number 9, the Chicago Bears had, and they drafted Rome Adunzi.
Hmm.
Okay, who is a wide receiver from Washington.
I've watched a lot of Washington games, so he's a solid wide receiver. One of the top 3 wide receivers in the board, all of them coming up. But why this was such a just home run hit? You just drafted Caleb Williams, and I know a lot of people are like, get him an edge rusher, get an edge rusher on defense. Absolutely not. Go out. You just spent the number 1 pick in the draft for your quarterback of the future. Get him a weapon, someone that he can grow with and learn. That's what helps a quarterback more than anything. Being able to have that safety blanket when all heck breaks loose, you know you have a guy that you can go to. You
Yeah.
can build long term. Quarterbacks, the biggest thing that separates a successful quarterback from a failed quarterback is confidence. Knowing that they have the weapons there that can get the job done. Great decision on the Bears on my part. A plus. Matter of fact, so far, A plus draft for the Bears. Pick number
Yeah.
10.
Okay, yeah, so pick number 10 was the Minnesota Vikings, and they drafted J.J. McCarthy, who is a quarterback from Michigan. Oh,
This
J.J.
is the one. This is my guy. This is who I had him rated as the second best quarterback in this draft. I've been watching him. Uh, I think he's great. A lot of people get on him, and a lot of people are very low on him because he played at Michigan, which was a very heavy run first defense. I mean offense. Sometimes running the ball 20, 30 times in a row. They were a heavy defensive team. I mean, heavy run offense team. But Mike McCarthy had all the skills. When called upon, he always performed. He was 3rd in QBR. He was
You mean J.J.?
JJ McCarthy was. What did I
Yeah,
say?
you said Mike. Mike
Oh,
McCarthy.
wow. That's yeah. No, Mike McCarthy was not 3rd. No, he was not. JJ McCarthy. Wow. What a little slip up on that one. Very, very different people there. JJ McCarthy is just a solid guy. When he's called upon, he has all the intangibles. 3rd in QBR, number 1 in QBR for 3rd and 7. Under pressure, he's one of the top quarterbacks in college football. High passing percentage, strong performance in key situations, huge numbers on being a leader. Concerns. He didn't have the huge volume. He didn't put up the gaudy stats because they ran the ball so much. So a lot of people are concerned, can he play in an NFL type offense? There's not a better organization in the NFL to go to than the Minnesota Vikings. It's a great place him to land. They'll take their time, they'll develop him. I think it's a perfect fit. I gave that one an A plus as well. Let's skip to Denver Broncos. That's number 12.
Yeah, so the Denver Broncos were number 12 in the round 1, and they drafted Bo Nix, who is a quarterback from Oregon.
Okay, I like Bo Nix. Yahoo gave this grade an F as well. These are only 2 Fs they gave.
Salty. Salty.
I thought Bo Nix, show me a game where Bo Nix looked bad. I think they could have traded back maybe and still got Bo Nix. I think they went a little early with him. Bo Nix across the board improved his completion percentage, his deep ball proficiency. Um, has concerns about arm strength. Uh, those are kind of the concerns. Also, some people have concerns. Can he adjust to an NFL type system? I think Denver, everyone knew Denver wanted to get their quarterback. And if you're going to get your quarterback and you look at who's already come off the board, are you not going to say, you know what? No, we're not going to trade back. We're going to get our guy right now because we don't want someone else to slide ahead of us and take him. So I didn't have a problem with that. I don't give it an F. I give it like a C plus grade. I don't give it an F. And then let's move to number 13, one of Faith's favorites.
Don't call, don't text. I think every Georgia fan needs a time period to mourn. So the Las Vegas Raiders drafted Brock Bowers, who is a tight end from Georgia. My man Brock Bowers, he's gone forever. I don't know what we'll do.
Listen, Brock Bowers was the best tight end in college football. And I don't think it was close. I think he'll have a huge impact on the NFL. The question I have is, should the Raiders have taken him? Because my answer is no. I don't think they should have. I felt like they should have skipped him altogether. They needed a quarterback. And I felt like they should have traded up to get a quarterback. If they're going to stay in this place, they desperately need offensive line. They need defense. They need a quarterback. If you don't have an offensive line and you don't have a quarterback and you don't have much of a defense, a tight end's not helping you. That tight end is that finishing piece that's going to get you over the top. I didn't like this move at all. I don't think it's a good fit for what they needed. They got, like I said, they got the best tight end in college football. I just don't know if it's a great decision for what they were doing. We're going to move down a little bit, and we're going to go to number 22, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. Ooh, you might have to help me with this guy's name. So, for 22, the Philadelphia Eagles drafted Quinyon?
Quinyon Mitchell.
That's close. Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo.
Okay. I had never even heard of this dude. So I'm going to be honest with you, straight off the top.
Yeah.
I've recently heard about him. Everyone said he was the best corner in college football. I had Arnold from Alabama as the best corner in football, but he played in the Mid-American Conference. I come from the University of Akron, so I didn't watch a lot of MAC games. But apparently he's the best corner in college football. Then when he went to the Senior Bowl, this is when I heard about him, because during the Senior Bowl, everyone looked at him as he proved he was the best corner in college football. Before that, it was kind of like, yeah, he's doing well, but he's playing in the Mid-American Conference. But then the Senior Bowl, when you had everyone there, he stood out head and shoulders above everyone else. And so it was a big move. The Philadelphia Eagles desperately needed a corner. They got the last part of the season, they got exposed. I mean, they got really exposed in the passing game and the lack of receiver depth. So the fact is, they needed to go get a corner. They went out to who most people think is the best corner in the game, and they went out and got him. So what can you say about that one?
Yeah.
We're going to go with that. Let's pair that up with number 24.
Okay, number 24, the Detroit Lions drafted Tyrion Ardnell, who is a cornerback from Alabama.
This is who I thought was the best corner in college football. I couldn't speak of Mitchell. I didn't watch Mitchell, so I can't. I would be lying to anyone that said I knew about him. But Arnold is an impact corner. I think he'll be ready day one in the NFL. He's NFL ready right now to play. I love the move that they traded with the Dallas Cowboys to move up. So the Detroit Lions moved up a couple of places to 24, and the Cowboys took, I think, the 29th pick and moved down, but got some extra compensation in this draft. So I thought that was a really big move for the Detroit Lions, which has just signed Amon-Ra St. Brown to an extension, which I thought was really, really smart. I look at Amon-Ra as Amon-Ra St. Brown as a future best receiver in the NFL. He may not be the best receiver in the NFL right now, but he is on that path to becoming the best wide receiver in the game. He has that kind of potential. And shoring up Detroit's defense, it's just putting them one step closer to that contention. They made a huge leap this year, made the playoff, made a run for the Super Bowl, and now they went out and they got a defense, another key piece of their defense, a day one starter at corner. I absolutely love it. We're gonna move on down to my Dallas Cowboys.
Alrighty, yeah, so the Dallas Cowboys had the 29th pick, and they drafted Tyler Guyton?
Guyton, yes.
Guyton? Oh, excuse me. From Oklahoma.
Okay. This is another situation where everyone wants to see Dallas make the sexy pick. They want a big blockbuster pick. That's what everyone wants to see. And they keep throwing this whole thing in. Dallas, they're all in. Are they all in? But they're not showing like they're all in. Dallas is making smart pick after smart pick. Dallas needed to shore up their offensive line. Guyton had been he's going to be probably moved over. He's been playing on the right side. He's probably going to get moved over to the left tackle, which won't be a hard adjustment for him. But they get that offensive lineman that they needed, that extra piece to strengthen up the offensive line, to give Dak Prescott a little bit more protection. Another day one starter. No one looks at the big offensive linemen as day one that are ready to play day one, are sexy picks. They're looking for the wide receiver, the quarterback, and thing. But the most important place in football is that tackle position, that left tackle position. And Dallas just went out and got them a left tackle. That's what they needed to do. They were able to trade back and get some extra compensation as well and still get their guy. It was a no-brainer. Very smart decision. And then my last one, I'm going to go with number 31, the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay, yeah, so for 31 with the San Francisco Niners, we have Ricky Pearsall, who's a wide receiver from Florida.
Okay. This one was weird. This was weird to me. I know they have the issue of Brandon Ayuk. And when we were in our production meeting yesterday, I know a number of people were expecting Brandon Ayuk to get traded yesterday. But I didn't think so. I thought if he gets traded, he may get traded over the weekend. But I didn't think it was going to be day one. Them going out and getting a wide receiver, I think they went and reached for him way too early. I think this kind of guarantees, though, that Brandon Ayuk is gone, because where are they going to get the salary cap space to sign Ayuk to a long-term deal now? Now that they've drafted a receiver in the first round. Also, it's not a position that they needed. The 49ers, Super Bowl contender that they are, needed help on the defensive side of the ball. And I was shocked that they went ahead and went with wide receiver when they had a great opportunity to get a defensive player. This was one of my lowest decisions because I even thought there were better wide receivers on there. If there was going to be an F or a D grade, that would have been my F or D grade. I just don't think it makes that big of an impact for a team that's in a win now mode, Super Bowl or bust type of team, where you could get a player that's impact is a day one impact type of defensive player, and you take a wide receiver that's going to be a project that may take 2 or 3 years when you're in a win now Super Bowl mode or bust. I didn't like this pick at all.
Yeah.
So I did not give them a high grade. So that was my worst pick in the draft. So now, if I'd have told you a year ago, you'd be sitting on a national show, Faith, breaking down the NFL draft, what would you have said?
I said, you're lying.
But this is just what you did. There's still a few more rounds left. You got Friday, today, tomorrow, and Sunday's draft. That'll be going on. We'll talk about them a little bit more in the draft, maybe not so in depth, but wanted to cover the first round is so critical. And so I wanted to give my opinion on the draft and where some of the players went. Some players that are still out there that I am very curious on as far as players. Spencer Rattler from South Carolina, Hartman, the quarterback out of Notre Dame, Joe Milton III out of Tennessee, and Michael Pratt from Tulane. I'm really still curious to see where these guys land. Are these going to be are some of these quarterbacks going to be day 2 or day 3 or even slide even further? I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing where the rest of these guys land. So I'll be keeping an eye on that over the weekend. So.
Alrighty. Well, with that, guys, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about the NBA playoff games that happened last night. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about the NFL draft, and now we're going to be talking about last night NBA playoff games. So, exciting stuff.
Excellent. What do you have? You have a story for me, or an article you want to talk about? Okay.
So this kind of combines all 3 of them that happened last night.
Okay.
So the Denver Nuggets are one win from breaking out the brooms on the Lakers as they took a 3-0 series lead with a 112-105 victory on Thursday. Once again, the Lakers led after the first quarter as they did in the first two games of the series, but this time the Nuggets didn't take as long to turn it on, and by the fourth quarter, LA was in survival mode. You could see the life leaving the team as Denver's lead grew and the minutes ticked down. The final score is not indicative of how the fourth quarter went. Denver was never in trouble. The Lakers have been valiant in this series. The Nuggets, who had four players... What's up?
Oh, I was going to say, when you get to the Laker part, stop, because I wanted to make some comments on it.
Okay. The Nuggets, who had four players post at least 20 points. Aaron Gordon was 29, Nikola Jokic was 24, Jamal Murray 22, and Michael Porter Jr. was 20, and are just too good. The Lakers were led by Anthony Davis, who finished with 33 points and 15 rebounds, and LeBron James, who went for 26 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. All right.
Okay. Faith?
Yes.
What have I been saying? We're talking
movies.
We're talking movies.
A movie that you don't like watching, but you have to watch. It's that Christmas movie that you don't like, and every time you see it, you know exactly what's going to happen, and you don't like watching it. And this is how you feel with the Denvers and the Lakers, and you've been saying this for each playoff game that has happened with them.
Okay, let's see if this sounds repetitive to you, Faith.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers come out determined. They're playing hard. They get out to a nice little lead. They go into halftime with a lead. And then what happens, Faith?
Fourth quarter, the Nuggets beat them down. Oops, sorry.
They lose the lead. They lose the lead in the third, and the game is over in the fourth. And the Lakers, who have looked good in the first half of every game, they fall apart in the third, and they get closed out in the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Most teams, the Lakers are more physical than, but Denver can be more as physical, or if not more physical, than the Lakers. The Lakers are a good team. I think the Lakers are a lot better than people realize. But Denver's just a better team. I've seen this movie. Have I not? Each game has been described the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers start out strong. Third quarter, Denver closes the gap and finishes them off in the fourth. Rui Hachimura has not even been. I don't know what's going on with Rui, but he has not played well. Only 5 points. D'Angelo Russell. Man, come on, D'Angelo Russell. 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 0 points.
Good
Playing
job.
24 minutes.
Everybody give him a round of applause.
Denver just makes him look so bad. I mean, D'Angelo Russell, D'Angelo Russell's career is getting destroyed because of one team. Mm-hmm. He has played incredibly well against everyone else, but he plays. His play has just suffered. 0 points, 2 assists for your guard is not acceptable. Mm-hmm. Ever is acceptable for a starting guard to have 0 points and 2 assists when everyone's looking at you as their third best player. Austin Reeves really stepped up today. We had an Austin Reeves sighting, came out with 22 points. He was balling hard, but it's just not enough. You can't just have LeBron and Anthony Davis, and this game, Austin Reeves. The other game, it was D'Angelo Russell. You need a full team effort to match up with the Lakers. To match up with the Denver Nuggets. And the Lakers just don't have it. Mm-hmm. They just don't have it. You look around at the Denver Nuggets, as you notice, I haven't even mentioned the Nuggets. Jokic, 24. Murray, 22. Porter Jr., 20. Gordon, 29. Their starters, overall, when you look at that, you have 4 guys with 20 points, shows it was a complete team win. It wasn't someone that really blew out, had a huge numbers or anything like that. It was 29 for Gordon, Porter 20, 24 Jokic, 22 Murray, and cancel Christmas, a complete team win, and the Lakers are on verge of getting swept.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the question. Can the Lakers, which I think this is 11 wins in a row with Denver, can they just muster one win so that it's a 4 games to 1 series? I think they're going to get swept again. Back-to-back years. They're going to get swept out of the playoffs to Denver, because Denver is that's their Freddy Krueger, it's their Jason, it's their Michael Myers, it's their Nikola Jokic. As I said before, Nikola Jokic is their monster that they can't get past.
Mm-hmm.
You knock him down, he keeps coming. The Lakers have no answer for Nikola Jokic or Murray.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, now let's move on and move away from the funeral, and let's go to something else here.
Okay. Well, elsewhere, the Orlando Magic and Philadelphia 76ers both scored Game 3 victories on Thursday. Orlando blew out the Cleveland Cavaliers 120-83, and the 76ers held off the Knicks 125-114 behind Joel Embiid's 50 points. New York and Cleveland lead each other in respective series 2-1 heading into Game 4 on Saturday.
Okay, let's talk about Joel Embiid.
50 points. That's crazy.
He went for 76ers. They brought it to two games to 1. The Knicks are up. Joel Embiid is almost crippled. I mean, he has back issue, he has knee injury, and someone said he even had Bell palsy. He has all these injuries and all these ailments, and even beat down the way he was, he still was able to come out and put up 50 big points. That's the thing that makes him so dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
This is an unhealthy, beat down, worn out player this season, but he's a force. He can change a game. The better team is the Knicks. Now watching this, I have no question about it. The Knicks are the better team. But Joel Embiid is better than everyone on the court. Even at a shell of himself, he's a force. He's so big. He's so strong. He's so talented that he just said, screw it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put you guys on my worn out, crippled back, and we're going to win this game. We're the better team. We're going to win. Mm-hmm. And he was not going to let anyone tell him different. Tyrese Maxey had a really nice performance. 25 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. That was incredibly nice. Kelly Oubre, 15 points. They had a really good game. Josh, for the Knicks did Knicks things. Brunson, 39. Hart, 20. OG Anunoby, 17. It wasn't that the Knicks did anything really wrong. Joel Embiid was just that force. He was that dude. You know what I mean? Not the guy. He was that dude.
Yeah.
He came in with a mission and wasn't nobody going to stop the Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, now let's move on to that Cleveland game.
Cleveland
this was the this was the game I was really curious about. And to refresh your memory, I had mentioned this game because I'm like, Cleveland has just dominated the Magic. Mm-hmm. And I said the series isn't over, because when a team like the Magic they may not play well on the road, but I want to see how they're going to play when they get home. Remember me saying that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they put down a biblical beatdown on Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
121 to 88. They blew them out. That home cooking sometimes for a young team like the Orlando Magic is so crucial. They're one way on the road and they're another way at home. And it's more amplified when it's the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one of those great situations where it showed home cooking matters.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not on the same level in Cleveland. But wow, it's Cleveland on the same level in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
That's the question that I have. I want to see, it is critical. I want to see how Cleveland answers to this over the weekend. Because this wasn't a loss, Faith. This
Mm-hmm.
was a biblical beatdown. You know what I'm saying? This one wasn't a 10-point loss or a 17-point loss. No, this was a 38-point beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm ready to see what happens over the weekend to see, will Cleveland be able to rebound and take one of these games in Orlando? If Cleveland can still win in Orlando, then Cleveland has the series in hand.
Mm-hmm.
But if Orlando goes in with 2 big wins, boy, this could be a series to be worried about here.
Yeah.
So super excited about this. This could be a 7-game series. It all comes down to what happens over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into our Florida Man Friday story of the week. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will be back in a minute.
excellent.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing the NBA playoff games that happened last night, and now we're going to be diving into our Friday special of the Florida Man stories. So,
Okay.
man.
Yesterday was a doozy. I'm still liking yesterday's.
Yesterday was a doozy. Very much a doozy. Indeed.
Yes, I had friends of mine that actually contacted me about that one. They were so many people contact me about this one and had their 2 cents on what happened with the friend. And for y'all who didn't watch yesterday's episode, we talked about a woman wanted to have a threesome with her friend.
No.
Oh, you clarified.
Her and her fiance
Yes.
have always wanted to have a threesome, and when they got engaged, the woman sat her fiance down, they talked about it and they agreed, and so the woman asked her friend, and then long story short, the lady's friend ended up pregnant with her fiance's baby, and she's keeping it.
Do you know how many people you got people saying, listen, she ain't keeping that kid. Too. That kid, yeah, you can keep that kid, but he's gonna be staying at our place, man. It's like, how do you tell your family? The big one I think about that is, how do you go? Like, the family already knows. You're already planning the wedding. All of a sudden, then little Jimmy shows up during the wedding time planning.
Yeah.
How do you explain this whole thing to the family? That was the thing.
Yeah.
everyone was asking about there.
A doozy. It was a doozy for sure.
All right.
Now,
so
we don't have anything that extreme today. But...
No. We can only handle so much of that.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty, so a Florida man wrangles an 8-foot alligator with his bare hands, and he's not wearing shoes. So a Florida man took on a large alligator that was disturbing the peace in a downtown Jacksonville neighborhood over the weekend, and the wild encounter was all caught on camera. The video shows that Mike had no tools on him, just his bare hands, when he went up against the 8-foot gator in the middle of the road. Mike didn't even have shoes on. He's an MMA fighter. Oh, Mike Dragic.
Wait a minute. See, now I want to see who it is. Does he fight in the UFC?
He said MMA fighter. I'll copy and paste his name on here for you. I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Dragic.
Now I gotta look this guy up myself. Keep on going as you were looking this up, because as I'm looking this up.
So the MMA fighter, also known as the Blue Collar Brawler on social media, went viral last June when he captured another alligator that was found in a parking lot near a Jacksonville elementary school. He said the recent incident was one of his wild catches yet. He was running towards the cops and a crowd of people, and everybody was screaming. He told Fox 35 News he was actually attending a hockey game with his family when the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office alerted the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission about the nuisance reptile, and he was dispatched because he is also a licensed alligator trapper. Of course he is. It was only 5 minutes from the game, so I literally just left the game, caught the alligator, and then went back to the game. Like the previous incident in front of the elementary school last year, he said, I felt like Batman.
Okay.
Let me ask a question real quick.
Okay.
Is there something in the air or in the water in Florida that makes them think I can wrestle an alligator, and I'm going to wrestle an alligator, and, I'm going to put the beat down on the alligator? I have seen too many stories of people in Florida wrestling alligators. And
I think I could take a small gator.
I
think I could take a small gator.
You're a man. Of course you would say that. Of course you would say that. You're a man. I'm sure you also would say that you could land a plane if you needed to.
Oh, no, the hell I can't. Listen, I can't beat a bear. I can't land a plane. Don't even ask me. A small gator, I think I can handle. Got to be a small gator. I didn't say how small either, sister over here. But make sure you understand.
What, a baby alligator?
He just may be coming out of the egg that day. I didn't say how big.
God.
But here's the thing. As I told you, I've trained MMA for a number of years. Mm-hmm. And so I've been around a lot of MMA fighters. And a lot of MMA fighters are cut from a different cloth. They're just a little different. Most MMA fighters have a little bit of Florida man in all of them. You gotta have that.
Oh, so Tate is openly admitting that he has a little bit of Florida man.
I may be a little more Miami, Florida. Okay.
I don't know if that's any better. I don't know.
I
don't know if you should be bragging about that.
I'm not quite Belgrade, Florida. Let's just say. I don't know if you even know where that's at, but
no.
that's deep Florida right there. Belgrade. I don't even know if they speak English there. Please, sorry for anyone that said that. I said that too, that lived in Belgrade. But yeah, it's a different world. Then you mix in that they live in Florida as well. Of course, does it surprise me that this dude you got to be a different kind of man to be like, you know what? I like catching gators so much. I'm gonna go get me a license. I'm licensed to get me gators.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? That's a special dude that can go there and be like, you know what? On the weekend, I'm gonna go rustle up me some gator. You like how I said that?
Gator.
you gotta put that accent on there. Gonna go rustle up me some gator. And then
Wrestle up some gator, baby.
Then I went and looked and showed and look at it. I'm looking at pictures of him. Faith, he is not grabbing the gators I'm talking about. I can whoop. No, see, I know how to
8 foot. This one was 8 foot.
I know how to stay in my weight class. He got gators in one hand. He's holding one by the chin. He got one over his shoulder. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 giant lizards in one hand. I'm just looking at this. And he's knocking a fool out in the MMA fight in another picture. Yeah. He got a wild boar in another picture. This is the ultimate Florida man right here in general. Let me see as I'm looking at these pictures, I'm just trying to see if he have any natty light somewhere. There gotta be a picture of him. Yeah, he got it. You know he's had some natty light in his life. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Listen, Faith, he done barbecued up some gator, had some natty light after
Invite
a long day.
I love some gator tail. Gator tail's delicious.
Listen, people that heard this, you might have lost some fans with that statement.
Why? It's so good.
Because they think what you just said is gross.
It tastes like chicken.
People out there in the world, I'm gonna disagree with you on the chicken. It does. It has a little bit of chicken flavor with it.
It's like gamey chicken.
Now, see, I feel like it's like chicken and like whitefish. They just kind of marinated them together. So you got a little bit of fish, a little bit of chicken in it. Real flavorful, incredibly good. Yes, good. I've had gator. Okay. It is fantastic.
For all those people gonna try and throw shade about me being gross eating gator tail, there are people out in this world that eat guinea pigs. Okay, I don't eat guinea pigs.
Okay,
for the record, throw that statement out there.
I have eaten guinea pig before. Slow your roll.
Tate, I've had
America.
A pet guinea pig. I've had a pet guinea pig.
I was at a restaurant. I was at a restaurant. I think I was in either Chile or Argentina. Maybe it was like, or maybe Chile. Like Brazil somewhere. It was somewhere in South America, and they had capybara.
Have farms. They have farms.
Yeah, but no. But at this restaurant, they had capybara and guinea pig on one plate, and so I ordered it to try it. Guinea pig, it was tasty. The capybara was just.
There's the door.
The capybara was a little too tart and tangy for me, but a little extra dipping sauce. Got to triple dip the capybara before you swallow that one down. But I tried it. Neither one of them was the worst thing in the world. The worst thing I've ever had was I've had jellyfish, and that wasn't that great. And then I had kangaroo. People have told me I've only had kangaroo once. That was horrible. But everyone says you had someone that didn't cook it right. So at some point in time, I'm going to give kangaroo another shot because that is the worst thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Oh my gosh.
I've favorite
eaten some weird things, but I haven't eaten weird things like that.
Girl, I have tried it all. Rattlesnake, eel.
I've had eel. I don't like eel.
Squirrel, possum, raccoon, alligator gall, kangaroo, shark, like I said, squid, octopus. I love
I had both
octopus.
Of those. I don't like octopus. I like squid. I don't like octopus though.
See, wait a minute. If you've had that octopus that they be showing you at the sushi restaurants in America, that stuff's crap. Absolute crap.
I have a horror story I have a horror story about that. So,
All right, fire away. Let me hear this one.
so when I was growing up, there was always a rule in my house that you have to try it before you say you don't like it. So I consider myself a very adventurous eater. I will try most things.
You can
before-
travel. You can travel with me then.
Mhm.
If you're not an adventurous eater, you can't travel with me. I don't want to take you around the world if you can't at least try the food.
I try most things, and I remember one time that there was like basically just like raw octopus tentacles, and I was like, what the heck, I'll try it. One of the suction cups got stuck on my throat, and I choked on an octopus tentacle.
Now, are you sure it wasn't like a squid? Because I know sometimes they'll serve squid up live, and that stuff be still wiggling. And I've tried that as well.
It was octopus. I've had squid and octopus, and that was octopus, and it got stuck on my throat, and I choked. And I will never eat octopus. It wasn't good to begin with, but I won't ever eat octopus again.
Octopus is delicious. I'm gonna go out and tell you this right now, keeping it dead serious. My favorite seafood. I'm gonna rank them. Crab 1, octopus 2.
You love you some crab leg.
Holla if you hear me. That's what I'm saying.
I like crab too. I'm a good
Crab and
lobster
octopus
person.
are my top 2 seafoods
I like
out there.
lobster. I'm a very big lobster girly, which is funny because I got food poisoning from lobster one time, and I was so upset because for like an entire year I could not eat lobster and not think about getting food poisoning. So I just like got sick, and then I took like a break from it, and then eventually I kind of like weaned my way back onto eating lobster, and I love it again.
Lobster is just okay to me. It's just
Lobster
okay.
rolls? You ever had a good lobster roll?
I did a dinner party at my house one day, and we did the big lobsters, and we did prime rib, and we also had turkey as well. So everyone got lobster, prime rib, and turkey, and everyone loved it. And I tore that prime rib up, I tore the turkey up. I finished my lobster, but that was the weakest thing on the plate. I've just never really been a lobster dude.
I like lobster. I love shrimp. Shrimp is probably my favorite seafood. I love shrimp.
Faith, do me a favor. Type in giant tiger prawns. They're all around here. Shrimp used to be very low on my list until I moved to Portugal. Oh, tiger prawns are unreal.
Oh my god, they're huge.
Oh, girl, they're as big as lobsters.
Holy crap.
And delicious, Faith. Oh my God, Faith. Every restaurant around here has tiger prawns on their menu.
I love shrimp in any form though. Like I love shrimp cocktail, I love fried shrimp, I love grilled shrimp, I love boiled shrimp. I just love shrimp. Like low country boil here, we have really good low country boil here because I live in the South, and I love low country boil with shrimp and crab legs, and then get you some sausage, some corn, potatoes, and a boiled egg with that Cajun. God, I'm making myself hungry.
Now picture it. If you love shrimp imagine a shrimp this big.
Mm-hmm.
Big, like they cut them in half. They serve them just like lobster. Now
shrimp.
that is you know what? Crab 1, octopus 2, tiger prawns 3. See, because before moving to Europe, shrimp is good, but pound for pound, you gotta eat an entire family to get full, because there are always some small ones in the U.S. You come here, you get those tiger prawns, you get one shrimp. That's all you get is one shrimp. They cut it in half, all the butter and everything, but that one shrimp is filling, and it is delicious.
I love how we were talking about a man wrestling an alligator, and now we're talking about shrimp.
Can you tell that it is 1:18 here, which means it's lunchtime for a brother. We're gonna talk about. You start talking about going from, and these conversations, they are fluid. We went from catching gator from an MMA fighter from Florida, catching gators, to you talking about eating gator tail, to us moving on to seafood. It's all part of that circle of conversation.
No, gator tail's really good. I wish we had a good place doing it here.
It is the close of our Friday. We've had an interesting week this week.
We have had an interesting week. Very interesting. All right, guys. Well, with that, we're going to close out our show. Thank you so much for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you Monday, not tomorrow.
No, I was like, no, you won't. Hit them with them Deweys.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.